This is The Scoop for Wednesday.
I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines. Florida lawmakers are laying the groundwork for the next generation of road and bridge workers. WMNF's Joshua Hightower has more on the proposed legislation in a new transportation bill.
Florida lawmakers in the House Economic Infrastructure Subcommittee met on Tuesday morning to discuss House Bill 567. At the heart of the bill is a $5 million investment in Florida's workforce development. The investment aims to address the labor shortage for road and bridge workers in the state. State Representative Fiona McFarland, the bill's sponsor, says the project is something lawmakers value deeply.
It also provides $5 million of workforce development incentives. We care very much about workforce development in the state, and particularly in the industry of civil engineering and road building. The bill states that the money for the program will be allocated from the State Transportation Fund. Grants will be given to Florida college system institutions and high schools, with the goal of students earning certifications to work in the industry. Joshua Hightower, WMNF News.
A bill advanced in the State House yesterday that would allow Florida workers to waive their constitutional right to minimum wage. WMNF's Chris Young reports the bill received mostly negative pushback from public comment, with some worried that business owners may take advantage of the waiver.
House Bill 541 would allow employees to voluntarily waive their right to the state's $13 an hour minimum wage. Republican Representative Ryan Chamberlain, the bill's sponsor, says it's intended for inexperienced young people seeking, quote, valuable on-the-job training like internships.
We have several scenarios in our society where we waive constitutional rights. We waive Miranda rights. We waive the right to an attorney. This is a right that can be waived, and we certainly believe that it can be waived.
But some lawmakers and members of the public stressed possible downsides, including coercion to sign the waiver and an unlivable wage. Rich Templin represents AFL-CIO, a coalition of labor unions.
In any given community, there are only so many jobs. So if business owners get together and they say, hey, let's all set up these internships, you're not going to be able to find a job in your community unless you agree to work for the lower wage.
Despite the pushback, the bill advanced 12-4 through the subcommittee along party lines. Chris Young, WMNF News.
A Florida Senate committee has struck down a proposal to allow guns on college campuses. The bill, sponsored by Brevard Republican Senator Randy Fine, failed to get enough yes votes yesterday after one Republican rejected the idea. Fine told the panel that college students have the right to protect themselves in emergency situations.
You have the right to defend yourself, and that right doesn't go away because you walked onto a college campus.
Yesterday's decision temporarily stops the bill from moving forward. Another bill by Fine aims to lower the state's gun purchasing age from 21 to 18. Bills making their way through the Florida legislature would make it easier to destroy wetlands, the same wetlands that help clean water and protect residents from hurricanes and flooding. Jenny Stolatovich reports.
By the time the U.S. began protecting wetlands in the 1970s, the country had already lost nearly half. Florida continued losing more than 26,000 acres a year in the decade that followed. So to help protect what was left, Florida created a wetlands mitigation banking system in the 1990s that allowed builders to build on wetlands as long as they bought credits to pay for restoring other wetlands in the same watershed.
But that also suggests that there is a finite amount of wetlands that we can ultimately allow to be converted.
Julie Wraithmill is executive director of Audubon, Florida.
At some point, there was the likelihood of bumping up against that ceiling and reaching the limit.
Now that fast-growing areas like Miami-Dade are running out of credits to sell, Wraithmill says lawmakers want to move the goalposts. Bills in the Senate and the House would allow builders to buy credits anywhere in the state. That means a developer in South Florida could build a project like a fulfillment center on wetlands in Miami-Dade, but purchase credits to restore wetlands in the Panhandle. The bills would also let bankers sell credits long before the restoration work is done.
That's cold comfort to a neighborhood in Miami-Dade County that starts seeing their homes flooding during thunderstorms.
The Senate bill has so far been approved by its Environment and Natural Resources Committee. I'm Jenny Stolatovich in Miami.
Some patchy fog this morning and partly cloudy skies today with highs in the upper 80s. Mainly clear tonight with overnight lows in the upper 60s. Sunny skies tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s. I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.